Um, this guy, some of the aspects that are funny, that it's like, okay, if you can design a system that solves every problem known to the human experience, why aren't your books on the bestsellers list? But like, I phoned to order these books and the guy answered the phone himself. It's like, you should be busy because this is really wild shit. But you can kind of see his psychology going on. And but anyways, ultimately, he's not into marketing. He's never even thought of, oh, should I market? He's been busy trying to get the UN. He's been busy trying to influence the medical system to stop working. Don't do what you're doing. Everything you're doing is wrong. He's trying to get the pharmaceutical worlds to stop selling pills instead of, hey, you know what? If I was like Deepak Chopra and just sold all my books the way he did, then the whole planet would be shifted and changed because you're all looking for these answers, but you just didn't, you know. And he's sitting there trying to get people. So he just didn't recognize his own unknown problem. The things that he would have complained about, if he used the tool with this, then he would have seen, oh, maybe I should do some marketing. Um, there are a few things in the book that you can see that he's not practicing what he preaches, and that's the only contradiction that I can find in this book. You have to be aware of the unknown problem, and you can't judge other people. You got to be constantly just keeping yourself in check at all times, which is what I do, although a lot of other people will kind of judge whether I am or not, but they're judging me. you know I'm observing and standing up for myself because, like I say, if you're the only one on the planet with 10 people attacking you, if you don't speak up, then the influences of the other person, it is a matter of, you have to stand up and have a logical conversation, and you have to always watch your appearance. Do you stand for exactly what you're talking about? You know, so that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm perfect at it, but I'm giving it a good go. And if I am successful at it, it's only because of these books, along with this water concept, because the water concept will constantly keep you in check as to your complaints and your excuses. It also, like, it's a twofold, is you have to yeah, have a focus in a positive direction that you want in your life over all the past and all of the complaints. You got to get rid of and transform everything that you complain about, and you have to jump into the positive aspects. So it's not, I mean, Wayne Dyer has cancer, so is being the love, if there's a cause to everything, and there's a cause that's creating Wayne Dyer's cancer. And if you can see his psychology, he's been suppressing a ton of shit because he has not transformed any of the pain that he experienced. He just sort of, okay, I've learned from all of this. Now I learned to just ignore all of the past, suppress all of the past, and just talk about love and talk about peace and talk about meditation. All he's been doing is meditating on all the pain he's had because he hasn't gotten rid of the pain. You have to actually transform the pain. You have to transform, the experiences of your past into the solutions. And you can only do that when you have a complaint. So it's like we've been saying, don't complain about anything. No, this is the time you should be complaining a lot, but just, complain once, put it in writing, and now you know what you got to do. Complaining over and over and over and over again obsessively was just a repeating of the same problem over and over and over and over again. That's going to be your future tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You can predict your life. If you're going to tell that story, you know what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's like, just tell the story once, and recognize it. And it's like, okay, what are you supposed to do about it? What is your mission? Which is not about just being the love. So it is a twofold thing. You have to transform the negative into the positive with a focus on a positive direction for self as well globally. Now, it is a game changer because that is the ultimate truth. You will find everything out about religion. You will find everything about justice systems, government systems, everything that's going on right now. You will have a really, really good understanding. You'll understand evil. You'll understand your enemy. This forgiveness thing is so easy to do when you understand this shit. Some of the wildest stories that have been proven. One of them is, I guess, on even amazing. There's a show that was, I forget the name of the show, but something, amazing, whatever show that was on, that, Kruskin type shit that was going on. Anyways, they had EEG machines attached to. They swabbed this guy's mouth out and took the cells out of this person's mouth, put it in a petri dish, hooked up an EEG machine to the cells, put the guy in another room, and let him watch Playboy magazines. Every time that he looked at the thing, the messages in the cell were going nuts, and he would shut the book and the thing would stop. And then they tried it again with this other girl that she was going grocery shopping miles away from where this cell was being monitored. And anytime she experienced anything out in the world, this EEG machine would show something's going on. So that science is suggesting that our cells are actually communicating with each other in a way we don't understand yet. And it is that, my cells can talk to my cells, think about how large that is. As soon as your skin cells die, it has your DNA. And just because the skin cell is dead doesn't mean your DNA is dead, and there's still some communication going on. Because it's holding information. That's what your DNA is your encoded information about who you are. Every one of your belief systems happens to be your DNA, basically, is what it boils down to. So you can change your DNA. You can transform your DNA just by changing your belief systems. So it is really, really wild shit. I'll let this digest a little bit. It is information that you got to kind of read the book. I would love to share a lot of information that's in there, and I will still continue. If you can't afford those books, I will continue to talk. But for the sake of, Dragon's Den, am I a nutcase? If you can understand that level of science, to just read it and understand it, I don't think I'm so much of a nut bar. This explains why and how all of those amazing things were happening in my life. Shows you how to make shit attract in your life. I also had all of the abuse experiences. This also explained why I was experiencing abuse. It explains everything perfectly, so you get a complete understanding. Information gives you power. Lack of information keeps you in the box. And it's a book well worth reading. But if you can't afford reading it, because it is people like us that are on lots of us don't have the money right now to afford a book. So that's why I'm more than willing to share on my channel what it is I know. It would be very, very helpful if this little war stopped, because a lot of it is the exchange that needs to go on. But I cannot and will not have any more interaction. Those that know how to contact me lovingly know how to do it. I'm not going to suggest it, because that's what these people are going to do, is use that. It's really, really sad that this Voctor character is actually making me censor what I read. But I have to pick the lesser of two evils, because I don't want to be affected by the negative comments and threats that are coming at me. I will approve any videos that anybody wants to say negative shit about me, but I don't look at them, and I'm not reading them, because no human being can handle that level of attack, and I'm just not going to put myself in that position. It's like, as soon as it starts being, there's more loving comments being made, then I can handle it. But after seeing the last few videos and trying to communicate with people that absolutely don't want to have the communication, they want to be stuck in their drama and their hates, they're just lacking themselves the ability to communicate back and forth really, really deep sciences that we should be talking about and should be understanding. It should be a peaceful conversation between each other so that we can learn more information from each other. And I'm willing to give this free. If I'm such a con, why am I giving this away free? Um, so I will continue making more videos and trying to explain this stuff. Yes, water is more than what you think it is. It's not so much that this guy has it in his book, but when I approached him, as soon as I told him about the idea, it was like, holy shit, that could work. But then, you know, he's got his issues. He was poisoned with high-grade uranium. He was working with Russia when it was a war mentality, and so he was transforming it into a peace mentality. And they had wild technology that you would not believe. There's a lot of technology that's being suppressed that you don't know. You want to see aliens in the sky? Shit, that's a human making what we have down here on the planet. Lots of things are being suppressed because they don't know how to earn a living by sharing this information. But anyways, he was trying to get them to start marketing and using some of this really great technology. And I guess somebody who didn't really know the full meaning of what they needed to do poisoned him with high-grade uranium. Typically, you think that you would die from that, but he ended up fixing that. He hasn't quite overcome that issue, which he explains in his books of why that shit happens. And, you know, forget, like, he knows this shit, but yet couldn't get over this shit because after he cured himself of the high-grade uranium, he developed a heart problem. And it's like, how can you cure everybody else's heart problems but your own? He's got a little issue there that he hasn't, you know, worked on. And that definitely is influenced it with any conversations I've had with him, that it's like, as soon as you want to help this guy is like, step back. And it's like he's scared of people helping him because it seems like a lot of people must be attacking him that we don't know about. You know, he has this big, massive cure. Wouldn't that scare the shit out of you if somebody came and asked you what's going on, what are you planning on doing? And so that's why there is a lot of complicated issues with him and a lot of experiences that you may or may not be able to notice. But it's only through love that we can let this guy, you know, unfold what he knows. From that experience, from knowing how to transform high-grade uranium, you know, cure himself of that, he now developed technology that can transform all toxic waste into pure, clean energy. So we have more than enough technology to clean the friggin' planet. It would get jobs going if we really wanted to do it. I mean, you know, if the Obama is actually serious about, you know, doing everything that's right, he'd be stepping up and start funding some of these ideas and getting people to work. But there doesn't seem to be any interest there. So it is a matter of a lot of people that do have money right now, it's step up. And we do have to redesign the way our money systems are. But in order to make that transformation, we have to get started with, you know, the money systems that we have now, with the intention of transforming this financial system into something completely different. So you have to kind of use what we've got with the goals of making a transformation, so it's gradual, so it's not painful, so it's, you know, I mean, this Venus project's like, oh, that's a good wish. They'll never make that one happen because they don't know how to get from point A to B. They're on the dream, but they don't know how to make something happen, and they have a lot of flaws in it that they don't want to communicate with. So it's like, okay, I can see how you're about to kill me. Why would I want to support your goals if I can see how you're about to kill me? You know, so, and they're not receptive of that because they want to get stuck in the no system is perfect. Why is no system perfect? You know, is it because we just don't want it to be perfect? Because it is possible to design a perfect system. The only way it's impossible is the limited mindset that you have, but there's more than enough information to show us how to make a perfect system if we want it. But you have to want it. And, you know, knock the messenger down and have all of the attacks directed at me, but Just means that we are going to be censoring ourselves, because I cannot have that conversation with this level of harassment and hate that is going on. And I do not recommend throwing hate back, but you do have to understand that if you don't speak for peace, if you are not allowed voice for peace and do it in a peaceful, loving way, then you betcha evil's going to take over. Something to think about. Peace out.